episode 2. Today's gonna be sitting around a grocery store, one of my bigger accounts. We've been doing this account for like, I don't even know how long, but.
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Fabulous.
Fabulous? Any good news?
No news is good news.
Same old, same old?
Same old, same old.
It's alright, man. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, guys. Today we got a pretty fun one. I'm gonna get more water, actually. We're Payless, which is a huge grocery store. And it's not even all like open glass. It's kind of cut up and sectioned out, but today it's just kind of lower level, so we're not hitting that top stuff today. But yeah, it'll be a fun one for sure. Starting out, when we first started, this was like my least favorite kind of stop. Just that bigger stuff with, I don't know, just kind of eat at your morning a little bit. But yeah, after this, we'll hit up some more grocery stores, a couple more retail stores. Got the restaurants out of the way this morning. And I think this weekend I'm gonna do some residential stuff. But I haven't decided yet. Me and the honey are gonna try to go on vacation in August, like mid-August. We're gonna try to make it out to Colorado and then go to Moab, Utah, and like maybe somewhere in New Mexico on the way there. I'm gonna try to surprise her or something, so because I know she won't watch this video. But yeah, rocking the Polex wide channel. I think the handle's a swivel. Don't know much else about it. Head array mop, Polex handle, and then you already know, I'm rocking a wagtail, the bottom lip shaved off, and a mower meant flick on the bottom. So people hate it, but I think it works freaking awesome, at least for what I do and the kind of style I do. I don't need a lot of crazy angles, so it usually works pretty good for what I'm doing. But yeah, one thing I do see a lot of is people will come at these windows and they'll try to fan it down, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think in the window cleaning community, people were like, you either fan or you straight pull. But windows like this, dude, you just want to straight pull them. There's really no point in fanning it. You'll always kind of cut it at the corner to kind of mitigate that water towards the middle of the squeegee, and it'll run off that right side. So when I clean, you'll notice that I always go in at an angle. I'll clean like that. That way that water runs down that right side. I can control that water because it'll run along the bottom of that squeegee, which you guys probably know that, but a lot of you are getting runs at the top of the window when you clean. It could be one of the reasons why. So whatever way you're going, you always go down at the angle away from the water side, or away from the dry side. So like, there's water right here, we'll go down at an angle like that. You know what I mean? That'll kind of help me not have to do as much detailing. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll fan down this one just for fun. You guys can even see. Cut. It's kind of slow though. So like on these windows, it's kind of like, what's the point, you know? Better off just doing 3 straight pulls, straight across, not even left side and right side in the middle, just literally left, right, or left, middle, right. No point in trying to get fancy with it. That's just my opinion. Comment below what you want this channel to be about, man. Well, not the channel, but the series. The series is gonna be called Route Rat. Me doing bigger commercial stuff. So we mostly do commercial. We're mostly route for the business I work for, which is alternative window cleaning. Which, speaking of which, we're in the process of getting a different logo, so I'm pretty stoked about that. We've had the logo, same logo for a long time, and I'm pretty freaking excited about it, to say the least, to get that new logo. How are you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
It's just a nice day for you out here.
Oh, it's a super nice day, isn't it? Have a good day. least she didn't ask me to come to her house or tell me to hit her car on the way out. It's probably my least favorite thing I hear. Why would you hit my car on the way out? Oh, quick tip. These things, they're like Mr. Clean. They're like, you can get like 6 of them for like $3 at like your local grocery store or Walmart. I use these more than I use the IPC scrubber pad. Like, so like we do a lot of grocery stores and like retail, like fast food stops like McDonald's and stuff. And a lot of times that IPC scrubber pad doesn't really do the best job at taking off fingerprints, and dude, those things will. They're also great for if you do like. You said what, brother?
I could see through them now.
I know, man. I'm trying, man. But anyways, what I was saying is, those Mr. Clean sponges, kind of like a consumable, but dude, those things freaking rock. I think those are literally like the best thing I've ever used for quick detailing. And even like if you have a window that you just finished and you missed, like, let's say like a thumbnail size fingerprint, not like this, but if you missed like that, if you can see that and your sponge is dry, if you just take that across there and kind of do a circular motion on it, it'll take the fingerprint off and it won't streak the window. Like, you won't be able to tell that you took something to it. You know how like you take a towel to it, you'll be able to tell and be like, well, might as well just re-clean the window. Well, with those, you don't have to. But they work even better when they're wet, in my opinion. But like I said, that's just my humble opinion. I don't know everything, but that's what always worked for us. And this stuff, I'll detail some of the sides, but I won't do a lot of detailing on these guys, because but yeah, I think this stuff is done bi-weekly, so I can get away with kind of zooming through it a little bit. Not zooming through it, but not having to scrub too terribly hard. You know what I mean? Kind of bam, 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 and be done. But there are a lot of like places where the seals are messed up, and you have to take your time, which sometimes if you guys watch any of my videos, you know I kind of have a habit of being like, oh, see how fast I can clean this window and still do a somewhat decent job. But it's just my take on it. Now, like, if you're doing residential, I think I talked about this in the last video, but maybe I cut it out. If you're doing residential and it's like some $5.2 million house, or you're there and you're doing like a soft wash, power wash, and solar panel cleaning and all this other stuff, am I gonna be doing this? No, I'm gonna be literally just like everybody else, taking my sweet and precious time with it, making sure that everything looks good. Mostly commercial stuff is where you can get away with that. Not saying that one's more important than the other, but I think my favorite thing that I've ever seen anybody else do, I don't know if Steve-O did it first or who did it, but I saw somebody doing it on Instagram. And I did this giant freaking office complex downtown 2 or 3 months ago, right before I got married, to kind of pay for the honeymoon. And someone had like a big old bathroom towel, like a shower towel, threw it around their side, and every time they cleaned a window, they would drop it below, and they could kind of control their water drippage. And I thought that was freaking sick. And like, I'd be there for like 4 or 5 hour durations, after 5 mostly. So that's a pretty good quick tip, is if you're doing a big commercial project or you're doing a house, go grab a freaking shop towel from Walmart, not shop towel, but bathroom towel from Walmart. They're literally, I think, like $5 for the cheapest ones. And just keep them in the back of your truck, your work van, and then every time you have a residential person, you're like, well, I don't have any more clean towels. Well, you have that big one. That's all you're gonna need. But yeah, dude, there's so many cool tips and tricks like that in the window cleaning business that just other people do. And it's cool when they're like humble about it too. They're just like, this is what works for me, you know, whatever. This is what I like doing, whatever else. Oh, he's looking at me. Still feels so freaking weird about like recording myself while I'm working and stuff. But yeah, the store's not bad. I'm only gonna videotape the outside of it because I haven't gotten comfortable going inside and videotaping myself. And like people hearing me talk, it's just kind of weird at the current moment. But yeah, I figured I'd do one of the bigger commercial stops we have for this day, for today. And then Friday we got a really fun post-construction cleanup coming. Pretty high paying job. It's like a meat market and stuff. And I met the vice president Wednesday when I bid it out, and he really liked us. So I'm kind of hoping that he'll be like, hey, you want the rest of them? And I'll be like, yeah, I would like that. Which that one's just monthly, but I'll clean it this upcoming Friday. One thing I really was disappointed about was the Polex, whatever their wagtail was, dude. I was pretty bummed out about that. That thing sucked. Super cheap materials, like leaves streaks all the time, doesn't do a good job, and it feels cheap as hell. That's what sucks about that thing. One thing I do want to try still is the Sorbo, whatever you call it, like whatever you call a wagtail. I just say wagtail, like Mowerman wagtail, Polex wagtail, Sorbo wagtail. That's how I say it. But I wish theirs doesn't swivel. It doesn't have that swivel action like the Mowerman or the other one does. And that kind of deters me away from it, because I think it's not a good amount of money, but it's up there for a squeegee. So I'm not really like, oh, I don't know. But I will tell you that one thing every window cleaner has in common is they're constantly searching for the best tool. Constantly. And they're always trying new stuff and always trying to make the job a little bit quicker and more efficient, or make it look better. And one thing I will tell you is that I was an Ed-Ray fanatic. Like, we used this Ed-Ray stainless steel channels, brass channels, aluminum channels. They all work pretty great with like the Pro Grip handle, and we use that. Like, that's what I grew up using. That little black, like, plastic rubber handle. I don't know, they all look the same, dude. They all have similar names. So like, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. I'll try to pop it up on the screen if I learn how to do that. But this Polex that I'm using, dude, this thing's freaking sick. Especially for bigger stuff like this. Like, the thing can just take a beating. I kind of imagine that's how Sorbo channels are in like the Ed-Ray Super channel, but Polex takes a regular size black diamond rubber. And that's what I like about it, because I don't like buying 2 or 3 different kinds of rubber. I like using the same thing, so it makes it simple and it makes it easy. I don't want to have to order black diamond rubber for my traditional stuff, and then or not traditional, but like low, whatever you call it, like just basic squeegee, and then have to order Unger Mowerman for my wagtail. I don't like that. I'd rather just order one. Pro tip number whatever, let's say 5. Say hello to everybody. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk. Be cool. Be cool, be kind to everybody. You never know who anybody is. There's a lot of people who are higher ups in businesses who just walk around in like a t-shirt and jeans on their off days, but they're still thinking about work on their off days. And they're still gonna pay attention to you when you're doing a good job. So when nobody's watching, you bet your butt you should still wipe everything down, still make sure everything looks great, still do the best of your ability to do a good job. You know what I mean? Like, I think window cleaning is classified as not as a glorified janitor. I hate people saying that, because no offense to janitors, but running your own business and, I don't know, procuring clients and doing your own books, it's not a janitor, guys. That's a pretty cool thing to do, so take pride in that. Take pride in that, and take pride in your work, man. I know a lot of people who wish they could do something like this and kind of be their own boss. And it doesn't always matter what that looks like. Kamaru Usman, if anybody watches UFC, I think he's the middleweight champion or welterweight. I'm not sure, I haven't watched in a long time. But he kind of rolls with like Francis Ngannou, and then High Flyer, if you guys know who that is. Not High Flyer, but Israel something. And he had a really good quote the other day. I think he said his mom used to say it to him when he was growing up. It was, if you could take all your problems, or if you took all your problems and you put them in a pile with everybody else's, I guarantee you take yours back and run. That's true. That's got a lot of truth in it, dude, because there's people in foreign countries who would kill to be an opportunity that we're in right now. So even on those hard days where you're like, I hate this, I want to do something else, stick with it, man. Try to be optimistic. Easier said than done, but it's worth trying for sure. When you're negative and you start thinking about all the places you have to go during the day, all the houses, excuse me, all the stuff you gotta do when you get home, all the stuff you gotta go bid out, all the commercial places you have to go, you get stressed out. So my dad always said, take one window at a time. Sounds pretty silly, sounds pretty cliche, but there's some truth in that. I think one of my biggest tips that I can give you guys is to how to get a client to be loyal to you and how to stick around. When my dad started the business, he got some grocery stores at the very beginning of it, quite a good amount. And we still have those 30 years later. So he started it when he was my age, and he got married to my mom. And he would go out and bark like a dog to try to get customers, clients. I mean, he was handing out business cards everywhere, man. He was working his butt off. And dude, a lot of those clients he got back in the day, we still have. And I think a big part of the reason that we still have them is because anytime I go and I get the invoice signed, I don't get it and get it signed. I'm like, see you later, have a good day, bye. I stay in chat. I make sure that my posture, I'm open to talk. I'm open to sit there and to ask about their day, or to remember a conversation that I had with them. I already wiped this down. To remember a conversation that I had with them 2 or 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? I have one dude at a restaurant that we do where he always shows me pictures of his turtles. Yeah, his freaking turtles. I don't have turtles. I would love to have a turtle. I want to have a tortoise someday that will outlive me and carry on my legacy. But I wish I was joking, I'm not. But dude, when you take initiative and you make sure your body language is open to be conversational, people notice that. Because if you think about it, everybody in society today, especially, nobody wants to talk to anybody. Everybody's too busy with what they got going on, too involved with their day, not involved in anybody else's. And man, when you put in effort, people notice that, dude, and they'll help you out. So that's the biggest thing, man, is if you want clients to be loyal to you and to hang around with you, put in effort. If they want free stuff done, do it, depending on what it is. I know people won't like that, but if he wants 30 blacked out windows on the backside, that wasn't in the initial bid, he wants those done, you're gonna have to charge him for that, yeah. But if he wants like the mirrors in the bathroom done and the mirrors in the front done, there's like 4 or 5 of them, do them, dude. Don't charge him for that. Because you wanna know why? That's what sets you apart from the other guy who's gonna go in there and underbid you. That's why they're gonna stay with you, is you go the extra mile. That's the difference, man. If you don't do that, when Joe Schmo or Fish or whatever, around here it's Fish a lot, of Clean and Mighty, right here, the big franchises, when they go in there and they're like, hey, we'll do it for literally $40, $50, $60 less, and you don't take initiative with them, they're gonna be like, that sounds like a hell of a deal, and they're gonna say yeah. But when they think about it, they're like, well, this other guy, you know, every time I see him, he's always talking to me. Every time I see him, he's always smiling and in a good mood. Every time I see him, he's always asking me, are there any complaints of service? Is everything look good for you guys? Can I do anything else? Stuff like that's irreplaceable, dude. Like, trust is irreplaceable. When you trust someone with your business, when you trust a window cleaner, you can't buy that. You can't underbid that when you trust somebody. Everybody knows that. You guys get what I'm saying. I don't need to go in depth with it anymore. So take the time to take initiative. Make sure you prioritize your clients. Make sure that whenever you leave, you say 3 things. I always say 3 things. I appreciate your business. Have a blessed day. If you guys need anything, I'm 1 phone call away and I will be out here. And you know what? I never get a phone call. But I'm telling you, if I was the kind of guy to just be up and out in 5 minutes, do their windows and I leave, don't even say a word, I'd be getting phone calls. They'd be looking for stuff because they don't like me. How are you doing? Take time. time out of your day to ask them if they need anything. And the other thing to say is like, hey, do you need anything? They say no. And if I've known the guy for a while, I say, all right, well, can I do anything for you as a friend? And they usually smile, and they're like, I mean, not in a weird way, but they usually smile, and they're like, no, you're good, bro. People remember that stuff, dude. People freaking remember that stuff. I'm telling you, man, where our society is headed, and everybody's kind of like self-centered all the time and kind of a jerk. People will definitely remember that stuff. I'm gonna end the video right there. A little bit still recording. Yeah, so actually we'll do an ending. So suck it, Daniel. A few shout outs. Shout out to Clean Habits and Daniel. Appreciate you guys and all your support. Daniel helped me get a huge list of stuff to talk about, and then Kyle Grimes is Clean Habits. That's the guy out in Utah. You see him all the time. He's a mower man. So we should probably pray for him in that aspect. Window Clean Texas, Hunter Window Wash, Alpha Window Cleaning's pretty cool. And I'm probably forgetting some, but dude, those guys are all so freaking sick, and especially Hunter and Kyle. Those guys have supported me from like literally day one, and were commenting on my posts and stuff like that. So big shout out to them. So thanks for watching, guys. That's the store. And yeah, time for an inside. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.